Howdy guys, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build! Today we are doing something a little bit different, and well, I guess it's not too different from what I've been doing lately, but I built another modern home, and I guess this would be kind of classed as an ultra modern home? Anyways, it was kind of a challenge because I don't really build these sorts of houses anymore. You know, at least not in this sort of style. I do like to build some more, I guess they would be more contemporary style. I don't know. Just like the last house that I built, my green modern home, I do love to build homes like that. And that was a lot of fun to do. But I have been itching lately to do another modern home. But I was like, let's twist it up a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of a spin and make it a base game only modern home, which was so incredibly difficult because I was like, I knew what items that I wanted to use, but didn't realize were not base game because I've just had them for so long. So I was like, oh, where's my rubber tree plant? Where are my little eucalyptus hanging plants? You know, where are all those at? Where are they and why aren't they in my base game? Well, because they're not base game. So yeah, I struggled a lot with that, and as a result this house ended up being incredibly minimalist because I had such a hard time trying to figure out what sort of decorations I wanted in this home. I wanted to keep a very limited color palette throughout the house, so it's very black, white, gray, and red, like a reddish orangey color I guess I tried to go for, but it was so very difficult to work with. I hope that you guys like it, and maybe this is like your type of style home or your sim would love to play in it. You know, you can go and get it off of my gallery right now if you want to. It's waiting there to be played in. I played in it for a little bit, you know, just because I had such issues trying to get my sim self to do anything in order to test out the house, which it all does perfectly function. Now, I have been away for a little bit and I haven't been able to sit down and make videos because I started driving lessons and things have just been kind of crazy as a result. So I haven't really had time to sit down and work on anything or come up with anything really. So I am totally sorry for just kind of disappearing. I do have a Twitter account where I do post updates, you know, if I'm going to be gone for a little bit, and where I like to receive feedback, you know, from you guys. So I'm actually going to drop that down, you know, on the screen, and you can find my Twitter link in the description down below if you want to go and give me a follow on there. I also have an Instagram account, but I'll link that down too. You know, you can find that in the description, but I can't really update, you know, my status on there as easily as I can Twitter, you know, so it's all down there, you know, if you want to go and follow it. I do highly recommend, you know, following it for situations like these where I just kind of disappear for about a week, you know, doing driving lessons. And I should be going to do my practice test sometime soon, so that'll be fun. Wish me the best of luck because I have had difficulties, you know, trying to adjust to this other way of driving because I have been driving for years, you know, within the limits of my permit and legally, of course, you know, so I have kind of picked up some wrong ways of handling, you know, a vehicle, I guess. So that's been very difficult to get out of. So I hope I do very well on the test. Yeah, just wish me luck, you guys. I should be going to do that soon, and I can't wait to get my license. Anyways, enough about me. Let's get back to the house because we have actually done quite a bit. We've finished the structure. I think we've got the floor plan down, and now we are working on this little balcony patio area. And I really like how this came out a lot. I like the idea of like a little patio garden type sort of deal, and I like how the succulents here fit into like those tiles. They have like a brick border, but like there's stones in the middle, and they're probably just like stones that have been like cemented into the ground, but I'm just pretending that they are just actually loose stones and the succulents are growing through them like happy little plants. I like how that came out. That was the whole reason why I wanted to build this house, was just to be able to do something like that for once. I've never done anything like that, at least not in recent years, I guess. Anyways, we are working on, I don't even know what we're working on. We're just putting in windows, you know, because I keep forgetting where I wanted to have have windows and where I meant to put windows. So I just add in windows here and there, and I take away windows or I move windows, and there's just a lot of fiddling around with everything in this house, you know, just trying to get it right and make sure it flows kind of nicely. I also like what I did with the double level, you know, sort of window situation right there. That space ends up being a little dining room area you'll see at the end. When I was taking screenshots, I just kind of sat there and admired what was outside, and maybe there could be a bit of a better view, but I just really liked how that came out. I love to do double level windows like that. Oh my gosh, they're just so cool. It lets in so much light. Like, you can see all of the light that's coming in, and it's gorgeous. I would not live in this house, but I do want a house that lets in this amount of light, you know? I just love natural light so much. I'm even sitting here right now with only one lamp on while the sun shines in from outside, you know, into my bedroom, and it just feels so good. I love a house with good lighting, alright? And I'm sure you guys can appreciate a house with good natural lighting too. But yeah, we are just kind of all over the place here. I add one thing and then I'm like, oh wait, I need this for like another room. So I bounce over to the kitchen and the bedroom and the entryway, and I am all over the place. But I was just struggling so hard, you guys, because there is not a whole lot in the base game that I felt was really good and fitting for this sort of build. I probably should have done something else, but I already built a base game cottage home, so I wanted to do a base game modern, it was just really very difficult. I really wanted to do a long hanging light from the second floor, but then I was like, oh wait, I don't have the light that I want to use because this is base game. It was just so horrible. I can't even believe that I had such a hard time, you know, thinking I had all of these items in base game. And you know, it even happens to me too, because I watch so many simmers who have like other packs that I don't have, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go and use that in a build, and I go and I build, and it's like, oh right, I don't have that pack, so I can't do that and I can't use that item. But then I'm like, let me go and wishlist it, you know, for a later date when I can buy it, because I want that one item. And I understand that's probably not the best basis to go off of when looking to buy another Sims expansion, but I will be honest, it has influenced me to buy some packs just for like one or two items, but I have grown to, you know, like other items in the pack. Anywho, right now we are working on the dining room space, and I really love those base game chairs. I think those might have come in like some sort of content update, because I don't remember those chairs ever being in the base game from the start. You know, let me know if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I haven't used just base game in a long time. You know, I guess base game modern stuff, so I haven't really looked at those chairs before. I noticed them and I was like, are we sure these are base game? But yeah, they are completely base game chairs. I was like, oh wow, they're really pretty. You know, maybe I might use them more, because I've never noticed them before. I always seem to default back to Dream Home Decorator because I just love the stuff in that pack so much. It has to be my favorite pack to be able to build with. Dream Home Decorator was the best decision I have made in terms of choosing which packs I want to buy. I don't know, I really like it. I love it so much, and I missed it for this kitchen. I wanted to use it in this kitchen so bad, and I was actually looking for, you know, the stovetop ranges or the countertop ranges and stuff, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh right, that's a Dream Home Decorator, and I started to cry. You know, in my head I started to cry. It was very sad, you know, big frown on my face because I just did not have my Dream Home Decorator. I think these cabinets look alright in black though. I didn't really like them in any other color. I really wanted to make a white kitchen, but the white just looks so strange, and I really don't like the texture on those counters, you know. I don't know, I really hate those counters so much. If I am doing a house and I don't need to use those counters, I am not going to use them at all. I'm pretty sure the last time I used those counters before I got any other pack, it was in the beginning, you know, when I first got The Sims 3, or The Sims 4, I mean. Oh my goodness. Now all of the Sims games are gonna start running together. Actually, you're gonna see when I move out, well no, you won't see because I did cut all that out because I was just like, where is it? I was looking for it was like a coffee table, but in the center of it, you can turn it on and it kind of acts like a little fireplace type thing. I don't think you can roast marshmallows on it, but I also don't know if I was remembering that item being in The Sims 3, because I think it was in The Sims 3, but I don't know. I know some items from The Sims 3 have kind of been recreated in The Sims 4, but I'm not sure if that is one of them. But like a little flame can pop up in the middle if you turn it on. And it came, I believe, in the, oh gosh, what was that Sims 3 pack called? It was the equivalent of Get Famous, but it was for The Sims 3. And it came like, you know, with its own little world and stuff. And wow, I actually can't remember what the name of that pack was, but I think that's the one that I'm remembering. And I don't actually have Get Famous, so maybe it is in the Get Famous pack, but I do remember being able to have it in The Sims 3. Like, I swore that I had it, you know? But I guess, yeah, I didn't, unless I just missed it. I think it's like in a weird category or something. I don't know. All I know is that I missed it and I wanted it for the outdoor, you know, roof patio sitting area space so badly. Speaking of, here we are working on that little rooftop patio space. I almost did turn this into a little rooftop garden type space. That's actually what it was intended to be when I planned out this build, but I thought it made a very nice sort of little entertainment space instead, given the nature of the rest of the build, you know. Maybe I'll do a rooftop garden in another modern build, you know, in the future. Maybe one more catered to, I don't know, I guess somebody or a sim that would love to take care of a little rooftop garden. But there we go. You see that little coffee table I put out there with the glass top? I kind of tried to recreate that coffee table I was just talking about by putting candles in the middle. I am really so bummed out that the coffee table I was thinking of is not at least in the base game. I don't even know if it's even in The Sims 4. I could just be hallucinating it all. Yeah, maybe just let me know if I am kind of losing my marbles here a little bit, because I thought it was in The Sims 4. It might be in a pack that I don't have, or maybe I really am just remembering it from The Sims 3, or maybe it never existed at all and I am actually seriously hallucinating its existence. I hope not, though. Anyways, we're wrapping up the room here. I struggled so hard with decorating just the whole entire house. I just, again, wanted to use the items that I didn't have available to me. And it's like, you know, I could have, because all I do when I build base game homes is I just go by base game pack filter in the build and buy mode. So I'm very careful to make sure that I'm not using other packs. Yeah, this was just supposed to be a base game build. But anyways, here we are. We're getting into the screenshots now, and I am just gonna leave y'all with these. Anyways, you guys, I just wanted to thank you so much for checking out this video today. If you like how this base game modern came out, you can go and pick it up in my gallery right now. My gallery ID is in the description down below. Don't forget that The Sims 4 is free, so this house is technically free. And I'm gonna get going now, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.